is long and full of stone. The rain is heavy on the glass. I'm sitting in this place alone, watching every traveler pass. I feel the chill deep in my bones, drinking from a heavy glass. I send my love across the night, across the river and the wood, to see you by the morning light, the way a lonesome woman should, to make the crooked path go right and tell you that I'm doing good. The fire is dying in the grate. The bar keeps looking for the key. I know it's getting awful late, but you are all I ever see. I'm leaving, you coming back to me. I send my love across the night, across the river and the wood, to see you by the morning light, the way a lonesome woman should, to make the crooked path go right and tell you that I'm doing good. Sending my love across the mud, back to you. The heavy rain is beating on the door you carry in a spell. The magic drips like water on the floor with tales you never tell. I watch the crimson vintage as I pour and listen to the bell. You track the muddy weather from the moor, a quiet place to dwell. The fire gives a sympathetic roar. I break my heavy shell. I slide the silver token wanting more. I tumble down your well. The hearth is spitting dragons in the flame, the fondest in your eyes. You love me though you never speak my name, a truth without disguise. The crowded tavern complicates the game, but romance starts to rise. We hold our deep affection just the same beneath the smoke and sighs. The quiet way you look is how you claim the heart you memorize. The simmering of passion has no shame. I love this sweet surprise. I love this sweet surprise. The simmering of passion has no shame. Sweet surprise. Winter wind is knocking at the door. You take a sip of dandelion wine. I drop my silver coins upon the floor and wonder if you used to call me mine. I gently ask the barkeep for some more and trace the heavy table for a sign. We sit surrounded by the magic lore. You listen to the fiddler drop a line. I feel the same attraction as before. Beneath the frozen branches of the pine, I see the velvet jacket that you wore. So don't you remember that night divine? I wonder if you recognize the spell. The minstrel plays a captivating song. We met beneath the heavy evening bell. I never thought that you would stay so long. You know the dusty wooden floorboards well. The lovely potions always made us strong. That was the bitter winter when I fell. We drank our spirits in the tavern throng. I have a secret history to tell. I have a secret history to tell. I wonder if the evening will prolong inside the corner where the wizards dwell. So don't you remember where we belong? Yeah, just you and me. The lantern sways above the polished oak. A quiet darkness settles on your skin. I trace your profile through the tavern smoke and feel a rush of memories begin. I recognize the collar of your cloak, a traveled word that neither of us spoke. I watch you lift a glass of bitter gin. Beyond the chatter and the lively din, the universe has played a gentle joke to bring you to this medieval inn. The minstrel plays a melancholy tune, a mellow rhythm rising from the floor. We loved beneath a very different moon, in ancient kingdoms we have known before. A distant summer in a faded June, you turn your gaze toward the tavern door. We lost each other in forgotten shore. I listened to the singers, I could not desire more. Like ancient magic hidden in a rune, a perfect chapter in our private lore. Softly now. around us as we sit, a velvet blanket keeping out the cold. The darkest corner softly, dimly lit, a quiet story waiting to be told. The fractured pieces of our spirits fit, a love the fibers of our futures knit. And see the magic that your fingers hold, a sacred treasure worth its weight in gold. A heavy destiny, we both admit, a timeless passion wonderfully bold. Ooh, love in the dark, so bold. Yeah. The tavern rests in ancient wood to shield us from the bitter cold, where many weary traveler stood with weary tales, just a hood with magic in the stance you hold. I slide a tankard through the space and share a sip of midnight brew. I find my haven in this place, for destiny has spoken true. My one and only, it is you. The magic of the room is clear. We leave the weary world behind. I draw my wooden stool right near to see the future. To see the future we designed. My one and only now is here, the greatest love that I could find. I slide a tankard through the space and share a sip of midnight brew. I find my haven in this place, for destiny has spoken true. I read the calm upon your face, my one and only, it is you. The pub is bound beneath a spell that keeps the weather from the door. A quiet truth I gladly tell, I will not wander anymore. The tavern rests in heavy night. You pour another cup of wine. Well, the hearth is burning low and bright. You trace the table's wooden line. We keep our hidden love from sight. But magic gives a sudden sign. The bitter wind is cutting through. You breathe a melody so clear, the secret only lovers knew, the secret only lovers knew. I lean across the oak to hear, Lord, the heavy flames are turning blue whenever you are sitting near. The darkness thickens in the room. We sing and weave a heavy spell. Yes, a purple fire will cut the gloom. It speaks the truths we never tell, the quiet truths we shift and bloom. The quiet ashes shift and bloom. A patron sleeps beside the door. I catch the glimmer in your eye. Our boot heels tap upon the floor. You answer with a smoky sigh. You answer with a smoky sigh. We couldn't ask the dark for more, and magic never tells a lie. The quiet settles on the stone. We stand upon the heavy stone. I wear my heavy velvet gown. We step into the dark unknown. The dark unknown. Let it burn. Rain is cold upon the slate, pouring down across the street. I've been standing here so late, serving ale and serving meat, looking ale and serving meat, looking out the tavern gate where the mud and water meet, wash away the iron grate, clean the dust off of my feet, changing up the hand of fate, turning sour into sweet. Got no time to sit and wait, feeling all that heavy heat, so much heat. The clouds are black as coal, the sky is dripping wet. It's heavy on my soul. The hardest task I've met, I'm taking back control. The sun hasn't even set, not yet. Rain is burning on the slate, steam is rising off the street. Watch the fire celebrate, turning winter into heat. Close the heavy tavern gate, listen to the rhythm beat. Yeah, listen to it, watch it burn, let it burn. Steam and water, fire and rain. The wood is dry, the hearth is full. Yeah, it's burning now. stepped in off the cobblestones, heaving leather capes on the peg. The barman squinted at our youth, but we had silver in the hand. Our boots scuff the heavy oak, drafting plans against the crown. The heart spat sparks at the ceiling. We were kings of this dusty floor. Benny had a stolen signet ring, pressing wax on the tavern bill. A tiny riot in a clay jar, while the guard patrolled the gate. We laughed louder than the bells, daring the dawn to break our stride, spilling dark ale on the maps, mocking every law they wrote. The wick burns down to the nub, gray hair replaces the velvet cap, but the brass still feels the same under a palm that remembers the weight. Walking slow through the market square, walking slow through the market square. A polite nod to the ghost of me, still a rebel in a tailored coat. Still a rebel, still the same, just a bit more behind the beat. Da-ba-da.